Good evening, Ghana. It's another wonderful Wednesday evening, and it's time for another episode of Startup Hub. I'm Ebenezer Botry, and will be your host. Tonight's episode is going to be another wonderful one, and it's an episode that I'm dedicating to my co-host, Mamiserwaa Amoakohene. It's her birthday. Mamiserwaa, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I will do something special and unusual that I haven't done before. I want someone to guess her age. And if you are able to get it right, you get to go out with Mamiserwaa. Courtesy of FN, all expenses paid. And so get on our WhatsApp number 050-131-8154. Please guess right, because it's going to be a nice day to go out. All right. Also, we are streaming live on Facebook at the First Digital Network page, the First News Network, and the Startup Hub Facebook pages as well. So you can leave us comment. You can leave us any questions you have as well. As we always say, we are the only show that brings you entrepreneurial education, inspiration, exciting news about startups, and also how to start and keep your business going. Please, as I always say, call a friend, call a family member who you know or think will benefit from what we are doing here. I was away for a few weeks, and as usual, I had my co-host Mamiserwaa Amoakohene sitting in for me, and I can tell you she did so well that I didn't want to come back. But what I did was I learned a lot from her show. I think she talked about starting a business while you are in school, and I was so inspired that for an assignment we got a few of our friends together to work on a micro enterprise. The owner was doing something we call buffet, our buffet that we eat, and we turn it around. So we might be lucky next week. We might bring the whole crew and the owner of the micro enterprise so that we can learn a bit from what we did over there. Okay. Before we continue, we'll take our first break, the Be Inspired segment. After the break, we'll learn for what we're going to do today. Please stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
I did not have a rich father, not from, well-educated. I said I tried 3 times for university, all failed. I applied for Harvard for 10 times, all failed. They don't even want to see me. And I think that is a normal life, right? And I believe that it was so difficult at that time. I was so frustrated. But I believe that something is waiting for me there. And I have to work hard to prove myself. So that was the tough experience. Nobody believed that I could be successful because everybody said, well, this guy think differently, think crazily, they think about something that never worked. That is the history. That's the thing. And now, after 16 years, we have an Alibaba group, we have a Tmall group, we have a Taobao group, we have Alipay. And people say, how you make it? Why this make it? Why people cannot find opportunities? You can find opportunities. And I think people, same here today. Jeff, where is the opportunity? I don't have a job. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then when you think about this, start to do it. I saw a lot of people, young people, have fantastic ideas every evening, but in the morning they go to the office same again. Make the move, make the action. To everybody, to any person, tomorrow is new. Well, I said, if something, everybody believe it, everybody love it, forget about it. That's not your opportunity. Because when everybody agrees, why this opportunity should be yours? Because a lot of people don't agree with it. And you think this is good. Think carefully and find a group of people working together. And making sure the people working with you together believe the dreams. Whether investors believe in this or not, whether your friends believe it or not, whether your parents believe it or not, that's not important. You believe it. Your team believe it. And work day and night on this. That's how the things happens. Don't complain. Let the other people complain. Those people complain, those people who steal. And do not always say, well, I don't have. Think about how you can make things different. Use your own brain to think. And believe one thing, this is also another last advice I want to give you. You have to work very hard. Right? Either work for the others or work for yourself. And I choose the way, work for myself. But working for myself, that means working for the society. If you really want to work for yourself, think about the others.
You're welcome back from the Inspired segment. I think we heard from Jack Ma, the owner of Alibaba.com. And I think he had some golden nuggets for us. He said, work for yourself or work for others. If you're working for yourself, you'll be working for the community. And another thing that I took from there is that it's not going to be easy when you get into a startup, but you have to move ahead and make sure that you do something for yourself. For today, we are going to talk about something really, really wonderful. We'll be talking about the mindset, characteristics, attributes, and skills of entrepreneurs. And to help me in today's discussions are two successful, inspiring, and wonderful ladies in the house. My first guest and permanent guest is a Ghanaian born and internationally educated. She stood in for me whilst I was away. And she's the CEO of 3PS Solutions. She has also released and launched a self-awareness guidebook called Finding the Person Called Me. Mamiserwaa Amoakohene. I shouldn't say you are welcome. You're always welcome.
Well, thank you for always welcoming me.
All right. My second guest is the CEO for GS Car Rentals and a partner for Series A Professional Ghana. Miss Betty Blavo, you're welcome to Startup Up.
Thank you.
All right. As I always do when we start the show, I like to start with a quote. Okay. And today I'm going to give a quote from the Dalai Lama. And he says, and I quote, I believe each human being has the potential to change, to transform one's own attitude, no matter how difficult the situation. I'll take it again. He says, I believe each human being has the potential to change, to transform one's own attitude, no matter how difficult the situation. And with that, I'd like to ask Betty, do you agree with him?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Why do you agree with the Dalai Lama?
Obviously, besides the fact that he's the Tibetan spiritual leader, what he's saying makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's wonderful. What about you, Mami?
Well, I actually always say, don't look at your surroundings, rise above your surroundings. And if you really, really want to, you can. It's just too often we get caught up in looking around and realizing or forgetting that you can actually go up if you choose to. So,
If you choose to.
yeah, if you choose to.
I like that. But that means you should have a certain type of what? Mindset. Is that not true?
Absolutely.
All right. So I would like to ask, what is mindset? I mean, what is it?
Mindset is actually, think about it as the way you think.
The way you think.
In the simplest form is how you take information, how you process information, and how you put it out there.
Okay.
Really, and it's really who you become and who you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So as a man thinketh, so he be.
As a man thinker, so he is, right? All right. So, Betty, let's now look at entrepreneurial mindset. As an entrepreneur, what should you have to succeed?
Well, like Mommy said, an entrepreneurial mindset is the whole paradigm of the entrepreneur, how he thinks, what he wakes up and thinks about, what inspires him to wake up every day and then do what he does. Okay, so for instance, an entrepreneur has a goal and then he wakes up every morning inspired by that goal and then he sets forth to achieve that goal. He's very passionate about what he does, and I believe that's the whole mindset of an entrepreneur.
The whole mindset we're talking about. You see, I believe this topic was inspired by a lady that visited our offices, and she talked about how she was working hard and how she wasn't succeeding, and it made me start to think about the type of mindset she should be having to help her succeed. Okay, and so I would like to know, what are the signs that somebody has the entrepreneurial mindset that they should have? Are there any signs that you can pinpoint that this is an entrepreneur or this one is not an entrepreneur? Are there any signs that you can pinpoint?
Oh, absolutely. There are several signs that you can see in someone who is an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And one of them is the person is creative.
Oh.
Yes, the person is able to think outside the box.
Okay.
The person isn't someone that moves to the status quo, but is always trying to find new opportunities, new ideas, new ways of doing things, and is also motivated to put it into practice. Not just thinking about it, but also having the motivation to go for it.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I like that. And so, as you're saying, the person goes for new ideas, and he doesn't just go for the ideas, but he puts them into practice. Mamiserwaa, do you agree with him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think.
What signs would you look for?
Was the tenacious, being tenacious.
Ooh, tenacious.
Yes.
Can you help the little ones?
Well, she actually defined the word. It's not giving, not giving up. Being willing to take a risk.
Okay.
Risk taker. I mean, because sometimes nobody, and as the movie clip said, your parents don't believe you, your friends don't believe you, but are you willing to take that step? Are you willing to wake up in the morning? Because it is a scary thing and it is a major risk. Sometimes you may succeed, sometimes you may fail, but are you going to take it despite the fact that you're not so sure what is on the other side? And so being that risk taker.
I like that. I would like to ask a question about being scared. When I started off, I didn't know what was going to happen. But it was a journey that you didn't know where you were going. Yeah. That brought to mind Abraham that left his father's house not knowing where he was going. I think that's what the entrepreneurs do every day, right? All right. And so, Betty, are you scared sometimes?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. I am so scared sometimes. Like for instance, one of the business opportunities I went for was the construction chemical industry. Was in the construction chemical industry, and I was mortified when the opportunity came my way. I was like, whoa, I don't know anything about construction, I don't know anything about chemicals, I didn't do anything chemical in school, but I just decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn about construction chemicals. I'm going to learn about the construction industry. And it was really successful. I'm really glad I went for it. And yeah, if you're scared, all you have to do is condition your mind to learn, and you'll be fine. Trust me.
Wow. So it brings a saying to my, it says, feel the fear, but do it by anyway.
Yeah.
Mamiserwaa, do you agree? You're laughing.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I say confront the fear and bring fear along.
Oh, bring it along.
Yeah, bring fear along.
Wow.
Because I mean, I remember one of my mentors sharing with me, and he said to me, fear in a way it's a good thing, not always a negative thing, because sometimes you need to be cautious. So you need that amount of fear, but don't let it stop. So I said, okay, recognize the fear and recognize why it is a fear. What is it that you're really afraid of? Because sometimes it's like, oh, I just don't want to go there. It's like, no. Understand why you don't want to go there. If it's a lack of knowledge, lack of skill sets, I mean, you can address that. But if you just let a fear take over, it will take over. So bring fear along.
Wow, bring fear along.
Yeah, it's a healthy dose.
But I think, folks, we are learning another nugget today. It's okay to be afraid, but let it not stop you. Okay? I read an article from Ellie Rise yesterday when I was preparing for today, and one of the things I learned from there is that if somebody anyone that starts a business who doesn't have any form of fear will not succeed. What the person was trying to say is this: if you have some amount of fear, that drives you not to fail, because you have that at the back of your mind all the time. So feel the fear, but make sure that you do that which overcomes the fear. That is when you succeed. The other thing about other mindset that an entrepreneur should have, that I learned from there, is that an entrepreneur should be resourceful. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Why is that, Betty?
Well,
I think we don't have a lot of money in Ghana, right?
Yes, we don't. I believe that we do have money.
Thank you very much. I was just waiting for that.
You won't believe it, but a lot of people have a lot of money in this country. All you have to do is have an excellent idea, and trust me, you will find someone that believes in your idea and then will be willing to support you. All you have to do is do your due diligence, come up with the idea, make sure it makes sense, make sure there are practical steps to realize that idea, and then you'll definitely find someone to support you, because a lot of very rich people are out there and are looking for opportunities to invest their money. So once you have a good idea, and that's a resource, by the way, you'll find someone that will be willing to support you.
I think my viewers will be coming for you after this. I would like to know, who is that lady that said there are a lot of people with money?
Oh, there are.
And folks, what she says is true. If you can put together something we call a canvas that outlines whatever you're thinking of doing, so that if you're talking to somebody, you have everything clearly in mind, I think, as she says, you'll be supported. So think of that. But another thing that I was just thinking about as she was saying what she was saying was this: it takes a resourceful person to identify the person with the resources that you are looking for. Is that not true?
Yeah.
And so if you're not resourceful, then you say there's no money in the system.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's also part of the defeated mindset, because if you say it's not, then it's not.
Good.
Yeah.
I like that as well. When you think you can't, you've been already defeated.
Oh, absolutely.
When you think you can, you've already succeeded. Okay? So let's have that in mind. Let me move to the other side of the coin. We've just identified that some people have entrepreneurial mindset. What about the others that do not have that? What do we do? What do they do? Can entrepreneurship be taught?
Mommy? Okay.
Mommy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's, to me, it's like the chicken and the egg. Which one came first?
Okay.
Kind of. And there are some people that you can see certain traits in them. However, they don't see it themselves, and they need that little push, from someone like, if you really apply yourself, especially kids that are extremely smart, but because they're so smart, they rather just coast along because it comes so easy, so natural to them. And so it takes somebody coming in and saying, if you really apply yourself in this area, you can really make it. And they're like, really? Well, yeah, what's the point? So they have to find something in them a lot bigger than themselves, And yeah, the one thing I picked from the clip, which I really like, is you work for society. And if you can find something a lot bigger, cause a lot bigger than you will really push yourself and apply. In that way, you can give them those extra things that naturally they quickly pick it up, and now you just push them a little bit, and they will pick it up and run with it.
Wow, I like that. So, if I am getting what you're saying, means everybody can be helped.
Oh, yeah. Unless the person choose not to help themselves, then there's no helping that one. That's it.
Betty, I think you had something.
Yeah, I believe that it's the whole nature versus nurture arguments, and we can go on and on and on and on about it. I believe that some people are born with a natural tendency to be entrepreneurial, i.e. they have the natural traits that an entrepreneur should have. Like, for instance, maybe their parents are very bold and outgoing. Their personality traits make them confident, make them outgoing, and But someone might be born with a more cool, calm, and collected personality. The person isn't bothered much about the environment, isn't able to go out and get things done. But once you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, there's so many ways that you can learn. You can get a mentor, someone who's already accomplished in the entrepreneurial world, to mentor you and show you the steps that you need to follow to become a successful entrepreneur. Or you can take courses like the one that we've taken and meet people like Shelter, who's an entrepreneurship lecturer, and he will guide you in the ways that you can develop yourself to become the best possible entrepreneur that you can become. So yes, there's hope for those who feel like, whoa, I'm not that bold, I'm not that confident, I'm not that resourceful, I'm not that time conscious. There's ways that you can learn to be these things and to succeed as an entrepreneur.
Well, that talks about habits, right? Habits that can be. But shout out to Shelter Tay of Legon.
Yes.
The Department of Entrepreneur. I think entrepreneurship you've been mentioned here has been very good, and I think you've been on the show, so shout out to you. I also, before we go on, I would like to say that we would like to take a short break and take a second video from Jack Ma again. We'll be looking at how he took rejection, so we can also be inspired and learn how to handle rejection when it comes our way. It's part of developing that entrepreneurial mindset that we're talking about today. Let's watch.
So I was, I know how tough it was when I was a kid.
You tried to get into 3 colleges. Each time they rejected you.
No, I tried. There's examination that young people, if you want to go university, you have to take the examinations. So I failed 3 times.
Right.
But a lot of fail. I failed for funny things that I failed a key primary school test for 2 times, and I failed 3 times for the middle schools. And you will never believe in Hangzhou, my city, there's only 1 middle school that lasts only 1 year. It was changed from primary school, middle school, because our graduates of our school, no middle school accept us because we were too bad. They would become a middle school.
What effect did it have, though, being rejected?
Well, I think we have to get used to it. We're not that good. Even today, we still have a lot of people reject us. I think when I graduate from universities, and before for 3 years I tried to fill in the universities. So I applied jobs. for 30 times, got rejected. I went for a police. They said, no, you're not good. I went to even the KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. And we went for police. 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that did not receive it. So to me, being turned down, rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that I applied for Harvard for 10 times, rejected. I know I'll be rejected. I just want to say that.
Yeah, sorry now. 10 times you wrote them and said, I'd like to come to Harvard.
Yeah. And then I told myself someday I should go teach there, maybe.
I think that can be arranged.
You're welcome back for the Inspired segment. I'm so touched, sorry. Jack Ma talking about being rejected so many times. How many times have you been rejected and you've given up on yourself as a person? From what we've just seen, it tells you that you should never, ever give up. When somebody tells you no, that means there's something better ahead that you should look forward to. So move ahead to that something better. I think he kept on moving. So now he's one of the richest person on the planet. So don't ever give up on yourself, okay? I would like to remind viewers that the show is Startup Hub, and if you just tune in, you can call your friends, your family members to watch what we are doing and to learn from what we're doing. I think today we have learned a lot of things that has inspired us. We are streaming live on First News Network, also on the Startup Hub Facebook page. So if you started late, you can later go back and look at what we've done so far. Before the break, we're talking about some of the attributes. But before even we start talking about the attribute, what do you think about what Jack Ma said?
Oh, failure, rejection. These are part of the whole package of being an entrepreneur. You can't escape it. Not everyone would buy into your vision. Not everyone would see what you see. That's the whole point, because you're an entrepreneur, you're creative. You think outside the box. You see what the average person doesn't see. Not everyone is going to agree with you, but you just need to go past it. Try again and again and again until you succeed. And trust me, you will. You will succeed. All you have to do is try.
Mommy?
Yeah. This brings to mind a group of young men doing the program 3 days, and they had an idea. Now their idea was not the strongest idea to start off with, and halfway through the program they come to me and tell me they want to give up on the idea. And the reason being that somebody told them that the idea was not good, and so they said they want to give up on it. And I told them, if you go out there and somebody comes up and say, I don't like what you're doing, somebody just rejects you, are you going to give it up? I said, I can't force you to keep going, but I'm just saying, take another look at it. And what really touched me was that they went back, looked at their idea, changed it around a little bit, and represented it. And the second time around was so much better, so much convincing, that they were able to have people buy in. And I believe they actually continued with that idea and moved into different, various different business, but they still kept the core. And that to me is the most touching thing about people coming in and saying, oh, that's not good, that's silly, that's stupid. And then you're like, okay,
You're done.
I'm done. But they went back and they reworked it, and that is really the core of an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. I think, folks, we are learning a lot. If you don't take anything away today, learn that you don't have to give up. I think it brings to mind Thomas Edison, the one that made the light bulb. I think he failed how many times? 1,000, right?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah, I think he said he found it's like he found several ways of not making the light bulb rather than looking at it like, oh, I failed that many times.
I like that. And so each failure, he looked at it as the way of not to make what? A light bulb. And so that tells you that any failure you have, you should look out for the lessons in that what? In that failure. And turn it around. If you talk to any successful entrepreneur today, and the person tells you that they haven't failed before, it's a lie. Each one will tell you that they failed more than 10 times before they succeeded.
Even Donald Trump.
Betty says even Donald Trump failed. And I like the bit at the final bit of becoming the U.S. president. If you learn of what he went through to become that, you learn not to give up any time in your life. I think he's one of the people that has what you call tenacity. He has it to the core. Okay.
Perseverance.
And perseverance.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think one of the things that a person or somebody has to cultivate that entrepreneurial mindset is that they should keep what? A positive attitude, right? To acquire that mindset that we're looking for. Another thing is that they shouldn't what? Give up. If it happens, you move on. Another thing that I've just read from the early to start what you call article is that we should seek to stand out. Is that something that somebody that is timid can do easily?
Well, there's a saying in acting that says hiding in plain sight.
Okay.
And what it really means is that you get to hide your own true self, but then you still have to come out. You still have to stand out. You have to do what is necessary to get the attention that it needs to get.
Okay.
And so I remember this was at a networking event, and everybody was standing up and introducing themselves. And I'm not a very tall person, so I'm standing in the mix of all these people looking at, and out of nowhere, I just stood up on top of the seat I was sitting on and introduced myself and sat down. Everybody was like, because at that time, the tagline I was using was, if you're not popping, we need to be talking. So I had to pop one way or the other, especially being short. And so stood up. And later on, I had one of the gentlemen approached me and said, wow, that took a lot. And the truth was, I was really scared, but I just knew if I talk, there's no way nobody's going to notice me, because I'm not very short, but everybody around me was so tall. Yeah, so in business, you have to find ways of standing out, and sometimes you just have to stand up on your chair. Give yourself
like
extra,
that.
Yeah, give yourself an extra hat.
Betty.
I mean, when we are kids, everyone wants to be like everyone else. Everyone wants to fit in with their classmates. I mean, maybe you have freckles or something, or you have I can't think of anything but
gap
freckles.
in the teeth.
Yeah, maybe like you go and tell your parents, Mommy, Daddy, please, I need braces. I need to seal the gap so I look like everyone else, you know. But once you're an entrepreneur, that is what makes you
Unique.
That's what makes you unique. Yes, that's what makes you stand out from the crowd. And that's one of the keys to success as an entrepreneur. You need to be different. You need to find out what separates you from everyone else in your line of work. And you capitalize on it. Let people be aware of the advantages that they get from buying into your unique idea or buying your unique products. And that's success, basically.
Wonderful. I think of an entrepreneur as somebody that has to stand on the top of a roof and shout, "This is me. I'm here. This is my product." So I always tell people that are thinking of being entrepreneurs is this: learn how to communicate. If you can't, you may have the best products, you may have the best services, nobody will know you are there.
True.
So if you can, learn how to stand out from whichever corner you're hiding in, so people will begin to notice you.
And if you struggle with that, that's the beauty. Find a mouthpiece. you don't always, have to be the one doing the talking.
That's true.
Look at Moses. Moses said, Moses says I can't talk, because I stammer. So there was Aaron. I mean, part of being an entrepreneur is also noticing your weakness and knowing how best to
address them.
And bringing in a team. I mean, he talked about putting together a team, and that's what a team is. Recognizing that, look, I'm not good at talking, so I'm not even going to try and talk. I mean, there's some people that are good with coming up with ideas, but they can't execute their ideas. So that's where your team comes in. So it's about seeing all these different dynamics and being able to bring everybody together and have a moving machine.
Wow, I like that. I think we have another nugget, right? Jacqueline said it, and Mamiserwaa said it better, right? Bring together a team that will help you execute whatever idea that you have. I know people that have wonderful ideas. I think I've worked with one. If you go to where he has his office, he has all these innovative ideas. I went in and said, let's launch only one, and we did. And he made so much money. Imagine he could talk and launch all the other ones. So please don't think you can do everything on your own as an entrepreneur. Okay, I think with that we don't have too much time today. Okay, and so we'll invite Mami Betty to tell us a bit about what you do.
Okay, so I'm in a number of things.
Okay,
and one of them is I run a car rental. It's located at Adringano.
Okay.
And basically we have these 4x4 type vehicles, the Prado and what we all call the V8s. And we have those available. And we rent them out to companies, individuals, anyone who's interested basically. And they all come with drivers, well-trained drivers that are very, very customer service oriented, and you won't even notice them.
They give stupendous service, right?
Exactly. They're trained to drive safely. They're in the car. They take you to your destination, bring you back. If you're not interested in chatting, they don't talk.
Okay.
So that's one thing
of the things you do. Okay.
Yeah, but what's my real baby right now is I'm into hair products.
Okay.
Basically, my family and I brought to Ghana this new generation hair products company. It's called Series Hair Professionals.
Okay.
And we deal in shampoos, conditioners, essential oils for your hair, hair dyes, and so on and so forth. So, it's a new company. We just started. We are looking for people that would buy into our vision and would be willing to help us unleash it to the world.
Amen to that, sister. Unleash that to the world, she said. Well, I think you've heard her. So if you are unemployed graduate and you're thinking of something to sell, I think you can contact Betty to help you do that. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Mamiserwaa Amoakohene.
Thank you very much. Today's program, talking about mindset, it's just in line with one of the initiatives that I'm working on. So the 29th of July, which is this month, the last Saturday of this month, we're going to be having our first edition of a women's only Finding the Person Called Me. And
I'm not invited.
Well, the men's edition will be in September. In September. So don't worry, we'll cater to you. But the essence of this program is actually to address the mindset of our ladies in Ghana and to see how best we can tackle the issue of low self-esteem.
Okay.
And so 29th of July, 29th of July, do WhatsApp me at 026-538-9443. The number again is 026-538-9443 for registration, and we'll give you all the necessary details. So Finding the Person Called Me, Women's Edition, July 29th, 9 o'clock.
July 29th.
Yes.
For only ladies, right?
For only the ladies.
All right. Folks, with that, we'll bring our show to an end. But as I always do, I like to start with a quote and end with a quote. And so I will do one from Early to Rise. I like what he said here. He says, A normal person is concerned with protecting his ego. When dealing with a problem he doesn't really understand, he pretends he understands the contributing factors and doesn't try to find out what anyone else thinks. A person with a multi-millionaire mind asks questions incessantly. He has no ego when it comes to learning. He knows that knowledge is power. With that, folks, let's learn to ask questions every day. And with the right questions will come the right answers. But before we bring our curtain to a close, we have something for Mamiserwaa Amoakohene. It's her birthday today. Yay. And so we're calling our crew. Bring whatever you have for Mamiserwaa Amoakohene. Mr. Producer, Mr. Manager, let's have you here. Let's sing happy birthday to Mamiserwaa. Happy birthday to you. Come on. To you. Happy birthday, dear Mamiserwaa. Happy birthday to you. Hip, 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 hip. We won't sing how old are you now, right?
Well, I think he asked the viewers to guess my age, so if I tell them, then yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I mean, I'm really proud of my age right now, so yeah.
No, you don't get to say. Otherwise, the days is not coming on.
Oh.
But you can blow.
Okay.
Hip, 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 hip.
My phone number. I forgot to mention my phone number.
Okay.
On set. Okay, so if you'd like to buy into my idea and do business with us, hopefully, the number to call is 0266 578 955. 0266 578 955. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Betty.
Congratulations.
Okay.
High five, right?
Thank you.
Well, folks, thank you for being with us tonight. It's been nice to learn a lot of things.
Delicious.
I am Ebenezer Botwe, and I have been your host. So we'll come your way next time. Have a blessed week. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
That has truth, news that has accuracy, fact-finding news as it happens, local and international. First News Network, as it is, where it is.
We all know how quick news travel. But now with social media, quick has become instant. For 30 minutes, let's snap out. And gossip on WhatsApp. Share ideas on Facebook. Try out some new looks with the help of Instagram. And switch to Twitter for all the major trends. FNN Social, showing Fridays on First News Network.